All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest.
Special guest.
We are here with
You're
a
already
very
tongue-tied.
Very sketchy guest.
We are here with a very special guest. We are joined by the lovely Josh Duhamel, whose new movie Shotgun Wedding comes out January 27th on Amazon. Great cast. Looks like a great movie. We've seen the trailer. It looks like a lot of fun. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Chicks in the Office. This is awesome.
Hey, we are ecstatic. We are so happy to have you here. We know you're a big sports guy, so of course you're doing some other shows, but we're happy you made time to come see us in our little studio and talk to us.
By the way, anybody out there listening, I got the full rundown on how these guys were able to make this happen. Rhea is a college dropout, I found out.
Yeah, but we both are.
People are going to think that people will be like, Rhea just can't stop telling stories about herself to the guest, but he asked. I promise he asked.
That's so. It's just as fun for me to ask you guys questions.
2 college dropouts.
I'm tired of talking about my stuff.
Well, this is a conversation rather than an interview.
Did you finished college?
I
but
did.
Went back.
Okay, so
if your Wikipedia is true,
yes. So I can relate to what you did.
Okay.
I don't know how far along, how close.
I had about a semester and a half left.
Okay. I was 1 credit short when I left. And I did it intentionally because I wanted to go to dental school and I needed to up I had a 3.4, I think. You needed at least a 3.7 at the time to get in. Now you need basically a 3.4 or a 4.0. But I didn't graduate because I wanted to be able to go back and retake some classes if I need to, because once you graduate, your GPA is locked and that's it. 12, 13 years goes by. And I put all this, I was taking molecular biology and organic chem and all the hardest classes. It was it was really hard. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know what? I put all that fucking time into this. I need to go back and get it, you know?
That's what my mom always says to me. But I was going to school for broadcast journalism.
And you're doing it.
So I'm already doing it. What do I have to go back to school for?
Don't.
I think that my parents knew that college wasn't going to be in the cards for me.
I think you guys are just fine.
I think you're doing just fine as well.
I just did it because I needed to. I needed to for my own
prove it to yourself.
Sanity, I think.
Mm-hmm. First impression of the Barstool office, you got to walk around there for a second.
So they had me in this. They brought me in. They put me in this little room like they usually do, and I was like, well, I want to go see like the inner sanctum of Barstool, man. They're like, well, let's go. So I got to walk around and see all the people out there. Yeah. It is wild.
What'd you think about the people sitting around?
Loved it. all my people, because they're all sports fans.
Yes.
Yep, that is
and
true.
And there's sports swag everywhere. I'm not a big New York fan. Mm-hmm. Not that I dislike them. I'm much less of a Philly fan, to be honest. Any Philly fan.
She's a huge
You're
Philly
from Philly?
fan.
I'm not from Philly, but I am a massive huge
Although
Eagles
I think
fan.
The Eagles, I do love Jalen Hurts. I think that dude is legit.
As do I.
And they might win the whole damn thing.
I hope so. I
I
know you're
a
Vikings.
She doesn't like talking about the fact that they might
I get
be in the
very
Super Bowl.
nervous. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm one of those. I'm like Silver Linings Playbook superstitious fan.
So. Well, you guys got a tough one next week. Mm-hmm. But if anybody can rattle that rookie quarterback, it's the Eagles.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't played any away games.
Hasn't he?
No, he's played 2 away games.
He hasn't played 7 straight home games.
2. He's only played 2 away games.
So he's 5 home games and 2 away games.
Yeah.
You know,
not one in Philly.
3 people hang out.
Philly is right. I went to Philly for a game a couple years ago, and I barely left with my life.
You know when 3 people hang out and like one person's always left out? This is what this feels like right now. Like they always say, 2's good, like 3's a crowd.
Rhea was like, if all else fails, you can talk about football.
Yeah, I was like, we could talk football. I probably won't add that much to the conversation, but we'll do it.
Are you from New York?
Yes, Long Island.
Okay.
Jets fan, Mets, Islanders.
Okay.
All the great teams.
You guys were close for a minute there.
Well, it was another heartbreaker for the Vikings.
Yeah, I know. Did you wear purple for me today?
I did not, but I'll say I did.
Are you mourning or yeah?
Why are you a huge Vikings fan?
Well, I'm from North Dakota, so that's
closest.
That's typically who people root for there. Mm-hmm. Or the Packers, but fewer Packer fans there than Vikings fans.
Were you a Carson Wentz guy?
I am a Carson Wentz guy. I still am a Carson Wentz guy.
Okay.
I think here's what I think. Can I talk about this for a second?
Of course, yeah.
I think
I'll just leave the room.
No, you stay here because you need to learn this too.
No.
Very important stuff.
I could talk about this all the time.
Do any of the listeners out there care about sports?
Yes.
They do? Okay, good.
Yes.
Well, Carson is a hometown. He's from Bismarck. Yeah. I'm from Minot.
Okay.
He's like the star quarterback that came out of our state. Started great for Philly.
Yep.
Should have won the MVP that year had he not gotten hurt. You guys won the Super Bowl that year. Foles finished it for him. And then I think he got hurt the next year or something, and then Hurts came in. I think Hurts, because he's got such a leadership sort of presence, and Carson's a little bit more shy and maybe not a locker room guy.
Yeah.
I think he got intimidated by Jalen, played like shit, ended up losing his job to Jalen, gets traded to the Colts, who also had a great season, fell apart the last 2 games of the season, and they dump him. That was their mistake. The Colts should never have gotten rid of him.
They should have sent him to Washington.
They reacted too quickly. They should have given him another year.
He still stinks on Washington.
He doesn't. He didn't. He got hurt.
Josh.
The dude. I'm telling you right now, the dude can play.
No, he can play, but I think it is such a mental game, and I think once you start to lose it, it's very hard.
That's
to get it
my
back.
worry about him. Is if he's lost his confidence, that might be it. But he's a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah.
What I can add to that conversation is
what do you think about Carson Wentz?
The Eagles won in Minnesota, which is where the Vikings play.
Yeah.
Which is what now?
Where the Vikings play.
The Super Bowl was in Minnesota.
I know. That was the year we thought we were going to go to the Super Bowl, and you guys kicked. I was at that game, by the way.
The reason I remember that is because we talked to all the fans in Minnesota, and they were all so nice.
Oh my God, we did a man on the street. We did a man on the street video in Minnesota, and they it really couldn't have been a more pure example of Minnesota nice.
We were like, how mad are you?
We're like, say what do you say to Eagles fans? Like, we're trying to get to people, and they're like, oh,
good luck.
Oh, it was a good game, great season. Go Vikings!
Would you put yourself under that category?
It was nice.
I'm not as nice as everybody there, but they are extreme. That's why I love it. I love Minnesota. I love North Dakota. The people there are just amazing. Salt of the earth.
Do you get to spend a lot of time in North Dakota still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a cabin. So I fly into Fargo, which is where my wife is from.
Okay.
I'm from Minot, which is on the other side of the state. But I fly into Fargo, and we have a place there. But we also have our cabin, which is about an hour and a half from Fargo. So
what are cabin activities?
Oh my gosh!
Fishing,
having a cabin is sick.
Boating.
It is the best.
It's like I don't have a house; I have a cabin.
It is it's my happy place.
Yeah.
It really is, because it started. I bought it sort of in pieces and for not a lot of money at the time, and I was able to sort of buy this little cabin, this little shack in the woods, basically.
Yeah.
No electricity, no water, and it was 26 acres with this little old hunting shack, mouse infested, the whole thing. It was like I didn't even want to sleep there, but I had a cabin.
Yeah.
Then the one next door to that went up for sale, another 26 acres. And that one had electricity, no water, but a really nice, well-kept cabin right on the water. So then I had 2 cabins. And
now you have a compound.
You know what I paid for the second one? 26 acres and a cabin on the water, $189,000.
Wow.
You can't get couldn't get a room this size for $189 in New York.
You couldn't get a driveway on the water for.
So then all of a sudden I had 52 acres and 2 cabins, and over the last 15 years, I've just been, with my Bobcat, tractor and skid steer, just moving dirt, popping stumps, clearing property, making it shaping it basically. Yeah. And it is truly my happy place.
Yeah.
Where are you when you're not there?
LA.
LA?
Yeah.
You like LA?
Yeah. My idea about LA is it's not, maybe it's because I haven't made the same kind of commitment to it that I have at my cabin, where I've done the things to make myself happy. But I've got some good friends there. The city's been very good to me, so I never want to take that for granted. I mean, it's where I got my start. But I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. You've been working for a long time, and this new movie, it has J-Lo, Jennifer Coolidge. Did you know either of them before this movie?
Yes, I knew J-Lo. I met her years before at a New Year's Eve party in Miami. So
it's a great place to meet J-Lo.
I knew her. We were never big friends or anything, but I knew her well enough so that when we met on a Zoom call when I first got the gig, when I was about to get the gig, and it was like we just fell right back into it. And the main thing for me with her was, I don't want this to feel I want it to feel like we're just 2 people who are you have to trust me and I have to trust you.
Right.
And if we can connect like that on screen, then everything else that happens in the movie people will love. Mm-hmm. But you have to have that connection, and I think that this movie is big. It is heightened. It is over the top at times, but it's also a great little love story at the end of the day. And I think that if you don't believe that part of it, the movie doesn't work.
Yeah. That's what I loved about the trailer for this movie was that it looks like it's your typical rom-com, and then all of a sudden, boom, something else happens. So I was like, oh, this took a turn.
Yeah. It is Jason Moore. I just love his sensibility about comedy, because he's not afraid to go there. He does things like, especially in this one, he went, for example, the Pirates are taking over, and one of them tries to run, and I'm a former baseball player, and I have her throw this grenade to me, and I take some piece of art, use it as a bat, and hit the grenade, and hit the dude, blows it up. Not only blows him up into 1,000,000 pieces, but sets off this giant fireworks show that was right next to it, and it turns into this. And it's so big and over the top and ridiculous, but I think the way he sort of balanced all of the other stuff with that makes it work. And I like silly, stupid, over the top stuff.
Yeah, and how much of this was more of an action undertaking? Because it looks like it's a lot of crazy run around and stunts, and you've done action, and this is an in between.
Yeah.
How many of the stunts are you?
Well, it is a lot of stunts, and I do love. That's part of the reason I got into this business, was because I want to do action stuff. Like you're a little kid who wants to be in westerns, or you want to do jump off a building. I do what they let me do, what the bonding company or the insurance company lets me do. I'm not trying to be Tom Cruise, but I do love doing the stunts.
You're not going to take a motorbike off a...
No.
Become a pilot.
That's become kind of his thing in a lot of ways.
It is,
but, and I don't know how the hell he gets insured for that.
That's a great question.
Seriously, because that, he gets
It's not
hurt.
like he does it one time. He does it multiple times.
He's demanding that.
And I'm guessing he does have a stunt guy he probably does, I don't know, I don't want to get into what he doesn't do, but, he gets hurt, the show's over. So they got to make sure that he stays absolutely healthy. So I'm guessing it looks much more dangerous than it actually is.
Now, did J-Lo have a say on if you get the role?
I think so. I think she did. It was important. Again, like I said before, it was important that we had this connection.
Yeah.
And it was really easy to connect with her. She's a sweetheart. I don't know if you ever met her. She's really dope.
We almost met her, and then the lights went out at MSG.
Oh, really?
We went to a show. We went to her concert, 2019. Yeah. And she was playing at the Garden. We had the whole setup. We were gonna go backstage. We were so excited. Floor seats, the whole thing. And she got into about 3 songs, and there was a blackout in Manhattan
across the entire city.
And all of the Garden lost power.
Really?
And
so the show, they didn't do the show?
No, the show was done. The emergency lights went on. They had to evacuate everybody. It was all
wild.
The
street lights here weren't working.
Yeah.
Wow.
It kind of was a little freaky.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk out on the streets of New York and there's not a single light. That's kind of.
Are you guys going to the Taylor Swift concert? Are you Swifties?
She's trying to
another
go.
sensitive subject.
Yeah,
it's just tickets are hard to get for these things.
My wife found tickets. I tried to do pull strings.
How did she find them?
They were like, no, we're at the same agency. I couldn't even get any. Nothing.
I'm screwed.
She is all about her fans and all about making sure it's fair. So my wife literally sat on the computer for 9 hours. Yeah. Waiting, and it would go down and come up and go down and come up, and suddenly 3 tickets came up right in the front of the stage.
Yeah.
So you're going?
I don't think so. I think she's going to take
I was going to say, because people will find you.
I would go.
Try and steal your tickets.
I like Taylor.
Yeah.
I like her music, but I don't think I'm invited.
Yeah. Are you still honeymoon phase? You're just recently married.
Yes.
How's that been?
It's been good. I mean, we're she and I get along great. We're very much alike.
Well, I feel like you don't meet a lot of people
from North Dakota.
From North Dakota.
Yeah.
I'm guessing who we're also spending time in LA.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, there's not that many people from North Dakota.
Yeah.
And to meet somebody like her in LA was kind of perfect, because her family also has a cabin about less than an hour from my place. So she gets lake life. It's not for everybody. Mm-hmm. And she loves it. And she's an amazing girl. Family, all about family.
Yeah.
Which I love.
That's great.
Sounds lovely.
And go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, your son is 9.
9 years old.
How?
3rd grader.
It's such a funny age. How many movies of his has he seen? Of yours has he seen?
He doesn't really care, to be honest. He doesn't. I mean,
he doesn't think you're cool.
He thinks it's cool that I do movies, and he loves watching movies, and he's even taken his little drama class at school. I'm not going to push him to it by any means, believe me. He can do it if he wants to when he's older.
Yeah.
But I think when he's younger, he used to be like, "This is my dad. He's in Transformers."
Yeah, that's
like,
that's pretty cool as a young kid.
You can't introduce me like that. But and I try to show him a movie. He's like, he'll watch like 3 minutes of it and want to watch something else. Not impressed.
Even Transformers? That's got to be the one.
Yeah, I think he never really got into it though. No.
That's funny.
You've been working for a long time, like we mentioned. Is there an aspect of Hollywood that you maybe don't love, or do you feed into it? Like, I feel like some people try to separate themselves. Some people are all in on it because there's always different, theories, conspiracies, everything when it comes to just working actors for a long time in Hollywood.
Yes, there are things that I don't like about the business. And for me, what I do love about the business is that I love the process of making stuff. I'm truly not in it because it's the fame.
Yeah, that's basically kind of what I was asking.
I think if you get into it to be famous, your career is going to be short-lived because you got to really, really work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than people think because it's the hours spent away from home, and just a day is 15, 16 hours sometimes, and you get back up and do it again the next day. So it's a process but I love that part of it. I really do. I love the idea of, like, in Shotgun Wedding, for example, we had such a blast making, taking these scenes that were crazy on the page and trying to figure out how to make it real, yet still maintain that sort of heightened physical comedy type stuff that this movie needed. And so that to me is fun. Like, how do we make this work? And there's a scene in the movie where I first realized this place is being taken over, and I go back, and we had just gotten in a fight, so I go back and break back into the hotel room and be like, this place just got overtaken by a bunch of fucking pirates. We need to get out of here. She's like, what? What are you talking about? And then we go outside, see them come back in. We're like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And we had to figure out how to like make this scene with this net and this hairspray and all this crazy stuff not come off super corny, but make it fun and heightened and sort of real, but also a little bit broad in a way.
Right. Still keep like the slapstick.
And just have fun with like the creative process of things and being more involved.
And that to me is where I really, really have fun. And I found directing a couple of years ago. I've always wanted to do it. And that to me is even more about what I love about this business, is all the aspects of it, from the inception of the idea all the way through the marketing of the movie. It's like you have this idea, you write the script, you find the money, you get somebody to back it, you cast it, you find the right crew, you shoot it, you have art departments and all these different departments that have to be working as a unit. It's like a small company you have to put together to make this one idea, this one vision sort of come to life. And then the editing process I loved. And all this stuff made me I think a better actor in some ways, because I now understood how the sausage was made. I know how it's all made. I know what the editor's looking for. I know what the director's now looking for. And that to me is why I love this business, and why I think I've stayed in the game, is you have to bust your ass.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Instead of just getting a script, reading it, showing up, it's like you're fully in the process. Yeah.
When did you guys film this movie? Shotgun Wedding was 2021 or earlier than that?
2021, I believe. Yeah.
And where you guys shot in?
It's about a year and a half ago.
Where?
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
We shot in the Dominican Republic.
Okay, that's you're right. That's what I thought. And how? I mean, were you guys just off? Any off days? And what do you do on off days when you're on a beautiful island?
I mean, and there's another example of what I love about this. You get to go see places that you would never otherwise see, and not only see them, but see all of it. Yeah. So we're on the Dominican, and if you're normally going to go to the Dominican, you go to Punta Cana, are you going to go to the north or south part of it? And so, they have these scout teams who go and find the most beautiful places. Then you go like shoot there and stay there and live there for a certain amount of time. There's so much culture. There's so much, and I like to go into the villages and hang out and see like how the locals live too.
Yeah.
And so it was an amazing. That one is in my top 3 experiences in this business.
Oh, really?
Safe Haven, this, and then the movie, the first Buddy Games, I would say are my top 3 experiences. They're not always that fun.
We had a list of movies we were gonna ask you to rank.
Okay.
So you just kind of pushed us into that.
As far as fun?
As far as maybe favorites, or what maybe now when you look back, which ones?
Well, I think my
favorites.
Well, we have 4 rom-coms that you did.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna ask you to put them in order.
We're keeping them in rom-com category since we are now coming out with new rom-com.
Okay.
So you have Win a Date with Ted Hamilton, When in Rome, Life as We Know It, and New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Noah is a big fan of New Year's Eve.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I would rank.
I mean, that's like one of my favorite. I would say like just I love those ensemble casts.
Yeah.
Like Valentine's Day, New Year's
Gary
Eve.
Marshall.
Yeah.
He directed those. What a sweetheart of a guy he was. I would actually rank that one 4th out of those 4.
That's fair.
I think part of it was I was going through a rough time in my life, and I think that I remember I was really sick too.
Mm-hmm.
I had the worst cold, like the worst hacking. They would never let me on set now. It was way worse than COVID.
Yeah.
And poor Sarah Jessica Parker had to kiss me. I'm like, I'm sorry. She's like, whatever. So I had to kiss her with this like I don't even know what the hell it was. It was like whooping cough.
Whooping cough is awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would say that would be 4. Although I do get that they're fun, all those different sort of stories sort of coming together. And then I would go with When in Rome is my 3rd. I liked the movie. I thought it was fun. I loved the cast. But I don't think it was as good as Win a Date. Robert Luketic did an amazing job on that. And it was just such a sweet, innocent movie. And it was also my very first movie.
Okay.
So I was really...
That's a special one.
Very green. I watch it now, I'm like... And then the first one I think would be
Life as We Know It.
Yeah.
So Life as We Know It, Win a Date.
Yeah. I just think the Life as We Know It...
It's such a cute... There's a cute, very cute story.
Directed by Greg Berlanti. And it was not just a comedy. Like When in Rome I think was a straight comedy.
Yeah.
Whereas Life as We Know It had some real sort of drama and based on this tragedy that happens at the opening of the movie.
Life as We Know It can definitely make you cry. When in Rome, not as much, but I do love When in Rome too. But definitely, I loved Life as Tad Hamilton has a special place in my heart too.
Does it?
Really
Tell me why that is. I don't understand.
I don't know.
Is it the innocence of the movie?
I think it is, and I think it's like I love a best friend to more story.
Right.
And I think like it's funny because when you watch it as you get older, you have such a different perspective. Like when I first watched it, it was like, oh my God, how could she not pick Tad Hamilton? Like, it's like, you're like, what is happening? And then as I got older, I was like, this is such a sweet story, and I love Topher Grace.
Yeah.
And
we talked about that one with Topher Grace.
Yeah, we did.
He was just like, why that movie? He said the same reaction. He was like, why that movie?
Yeah, I know. I brought that movie up to him, and he was like, of all the movies,
he's like, that's the one. That's one that rings a bell for you.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It didn't do anything in the theaters. And then it's just had this life afterwards.
Yeah. This may be inappropriate, but I saw an interviewer ask Margot Robbie this recently, talking about like the best like on-screen kiss that she's had. She's all these like
Brad Pitt. Didn't she just kiss Brad Pitt?
She like just wanted to kiss Brad Pitt, and they asked her
don't
like,
we all though?
Yeah, she actually said,
he's looking. I keep saying he is just aging beautifully.
Yeah.
He really is.
No, but she said something Irons.
Yeah, she said
Jeremy Irons?
I don't know if it was.
No.
If it was, I don't think it was Jeremy Irons. I think it was somebody else.
It was somebody else. But
that was the best on-screen kiss.
Yeah, like on-screen kiss.
So I'm wondering for you, is there somebody who's played opposite of you that maybe not best on-screen kiss, but you think you had the best chemistry with?
Without throwing anybody else, because I've had a lot of great I love all the girls I've worked with. I've never had an issue with except for one, and I won't mention. But everybody else I've loved. But there's something about Alicia Cuthbert. And I don't know if you've seen Bandit yet, but that's probably my favorite movie I've ever done. Just came out this last year. She's just so dope. She's super cool. She's super chill, funny.
Yeah.
Down for whatever.
Is she a girl next door?
Yes.
Love that movie.
And she's a really good actress. But again, they're all.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw Kate Bosworth the other day. I did Justin Long's podcast.
We love Justin.
Justin Long.
She popped in there. I was like, Kate, what the hell? And then I realized they were dating.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing in Justin's house?
Justin's been on a couple times. He's so much fun.
He's so fun. We've had him in here a few times.
He's so good. Katie Heigl gets a bad rap, but she's awesome.
I was going to ask you about that, but I didn't want to bring it up just in case.
She's
but
great.
I was wondering that because I feel like people always say that she gets a bad rap, but then when you hear the people who actually have worked with her, like on screen, they're like, this is just coming from just, I guess, one bad experience.
Yeah, it's
or Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, it can. She probably said some things that she wishes she could have taken back. But my experience and my on and off screen with her was awesome.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a time where you maybe acted out and you think, oh man, I wish I didn't act that way?
Oh, like every day.
Who doesn't? Yeah.
No, just like on set of a movie and like.
When I was younger, I think I was so insecure and wanted so badly to be good and felt like I was just like fooling everybody and like I didn't belong here. I think that there was an insecurity that came with that.
Like imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I really felt like that. It wasn't until the last few years that I felt like I belong. I belong here now.
Yeah.
I always felt like I was telling my in-laws the other day about my first experience on all my children back in the day, and I walked on set and all I could think about was, oh my God, I'm on TV and everybody back home is watching this right now. Everybody knows that I'm not an actor. What the fuck am I doing? And I just felt like I was faking it for so long, and I think because of that I had some moments that I got upset, mostly at myself, but behavior that I wish I hadn't. I wish I was more together, but I was young. And,
I mean, I feel like everybody has that
definitely.
moment, and everyone talks about, you could be so amazing to so many people, and the one time you have a bad day, that's the story that gets retold.
That's what labels you, And I think
Yeah.
that's probably what happened to Katie is that, she had a couple bad moments, and that's what everybody wants to that's her label now, and it's not really fair, I don't think.
You know who's having a massive moment right now is Jennifer Coolidge.
Yes.
Everybody loves her. She plays your mom.
Yes.
In this movie, which is incredible.
Wait, do you remember when I had that moment where I was like, I saw that she was playing your mom in this movie. This was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second. You were like, Jennifer Coolidge is Josh Duhamel's mom? Like in real life? I was
She's
like,
not that
what?
old, and he's pretty old.
I was like, how does that make any sense?
Well, she had me when she was 9. She had me when she was 9, very promiscuous as a young woman, apparently.
Yes. Oh, my God. But, I mean, how she had to have been a riot.
Amazing. I love her. I love this cast. I love Cheech.
Lenny
I love
Kravitz.
Desmond. I love Callie Hernandez. I love Darcy.
When I saw Lenny Kravitz, I was like,
Kravitz is the nicest dude.
Kravitz might be the biggest person that I would think I would actually be so starstruck to see in real life.
Too. That's what because I knew Jen before, so it wasn't as big of a deal to me. But even though she's a huge mega superstar, Lenny is a rock star.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought, oh God, this guy's gonna be tough. He's not gonna want to talk to me right away, right off the bat. Hey man, he'd come up to you, want to talk? How you doing? An amazing dude.
Is he one of the coolest
really,
guys
really sweet.
that you've ever met?
I mean, just Lenny himself is one of the coolest cats there is, I think.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like you said, it's an amazing cast, and we're excited for everyone to see it January 27th, which is basically, I believe, when this airs. It'll be out on Amazon, so everybody can watch, enjoy, talk about it, go watch it with some friends.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies I feel like a good like girls' night at your friend's apartment.
We're always looking for some good rom-coms.
I'm always looking for something good. They just sometimes you need the staples. Like to see J-Lo doing a rom-com, you're like, yes, I want that in my life.
Because there's been a lot of misses lately.
Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon have one coming out in like a couple, I think next month too. And people are like, yes, let's get the players. That's what Josh Duhamel. Let's get J-Lo.
Which now that you just said Ashton Kutcher, we have to bring it up.
Oh God.
Well,
I know where this is going.
The international modeling competition.
Yeah.
So Ashton Kutcher is coming on this show soon. You have a message for him after beating him in that competition?
I can't say it on
You could say whatever you want.
No, honestly, I've seen him several times. We have so much fun because we were just so. I mean, listen, that was. I don't know if you've ever seen any video or photos from that.
No, but I'm interested.
It is embarrassing. Some of the shit that I wore. And he was cool. He was way more cool than I was. I was like this kid fresh out of North Dakota.
But you won.
I won.
You beat him.
I beat Ashton. But the crazy thing is that Ashton went on like immediately after that, and like I like to say that I kicked your ass in that, but he really kicked my ass because right after that he got the Calvin Klein campaign, and he got that 70s show and whatever else. He was just like, pfft, and I for 4 years didn't do anything. I was like, but I won. But I won the pageant.
They felt bad for him. They were like, runner up. We got to throw him a bone.
Yeah, I wish I could talk some shit, but it's all about performance, and he kicked my ass.
That's funny.
Well, you guys have both done incredibly well, and some great.
What an honor, you guys both chicks in the office.
Exactly, some great movies back, and you get to sit in our little studio with us, and we're super grateful for you to come in here and talk to us. So thank you so much.
Happy
and like I said,
girls.
everybody,
thank you so much.
Check out Shotgun Wedding. It's great. You're gonna love it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye, chicks in the office.